Good evening, everyone, maygay fans. Believe it or not, this is a green m1b. There's not as many as these around as the red m1b. But yes, it's a green m1b. I have got a few here actually, scrappers, but yeah, this was like a scrapper when it come, as usual. This is for someone on the Mecca. I don't actually know his real name, and his nickname is O Bake Mono, something like that. Of course, Lotto his name to send it to him. I've done. Right, this was one of the hardest boards, believe it or not, that I'd ever had to do. He sent me pictures of this originally, and I didn't think it looked that bad. The usual areas, yeah. The usual areas that are bad like that to me, I don't call bad. You know, I used to say that it was a bad board. Others might say that it is, but that to me now is average because I'm just used to doing this. So I repaired all the area that was gone missing and all the rest of it, and I just couldn't get this board to boot. I could not get this board to boot at all. Everything here dead, 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 and I've changed them all. I've changed loads of chips on this board because most of the chips that I lifted off here had like white powder underneath, as if you tip powder on it under all the chips. You know, all this lot's been changed. Everything, more or less, all the chips have been changed on the board. It's like a new board. Was it worth doing? Well, I don't start a board and not finish it. And the more I was going along, the worse it seemed to get. But after fixing all the tracks and everything on it, and changing all the chips what were knackered or suspected knackered because of all the white stuff on them, you know, which is pretty much most of them, 80% I would say, I just couldn't, no matter what I do, couldn't get it to boot, no matter what. And I was absolutely, you know, this is it. I thought I've been defeated here. I was on it 8 days, not 8 solid days, obviously, you know, an hour here, 2 hours there, and it just wouldn't boot. I even had to ask Pete Magic to see if he could help me, and we never really got anywhere with it. We didn't have much time, to be honest, to work together, but we didn't really get anywhere with it. So come the Friday night, I was preparing for something that I didn't want to happen. You know, no one does. Friday night, I was prepared to do the video on Saturday, admitting defeat, and that I'd finally found a board that I couldn't fix after doing, you know, 30, perhaps 40 boards. You know, and some of 20 times worse than this. I couldn't sleep that night, and I woke up on the Saturday morning ready to do a video admitting to everyone that, you know, there was a board I couldn't do, which was absolutely, I don't know what you'd say, not heartbreaking, obviously, but, you know, absolutely gutting to me to have to say that I couldn't do it. But of course, Pete said send it to him. Of course, I didn't want to do that, you know. I've been beaten, and Pete told me not to worry because he's got like special equipment that'd find stuff, and that I can't find everything with the basic stuff that I've got. You know, sometimes they ain't going to get one that's going to be like this. But anyway, I got up on the Saturday morning and I thought, no, I'm not having this. I'm not doing this. I'm going to find out what's wrong with this board. I'm going to find out what I'm missing because there's something here. And you know what? I thought it's something to do with this, which is the RAM, the CPU, or the 681. It's one of these three, and I don't know why, but I thought it was something to do with this, right? I thought maybe this is not working, you know, so I've replaced that twice, and with no joy. So I thought I'm going to check every pin on every chip on the board because something's like blocking it. It was like it was blocked. Something was blocking it, you know. The 7 on this, pin 7, was like dead when you put the game card in. When you took the game card out, it was high again. So, you know, something was clearly blocking it because that's the reset pin, I believe. So I got up I got my written schematics, because I've told people before I don't understand maygay ones. So I got my written schematics, what I wrote myself, what for me that I understand about the board, right? And I started checking every pin on this with the buzz first off, right? Every pin on this chip, everything buzzed. I checked every pin on this chip here, everything buzzed. I checked the game card slot, everything buzzed. I checked the CPU, everything buzzed. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way up to 20 on this. And when I got to 20, it was like a bolt of lightning shot through me. You know that feeling that you get when your hair feels like it's stuck up on end? I looked at my arms, and my arms are all goose pimply, right? And you know why? Because pin 20 there, even though I checked all this before, by the way, I've checked all this, but I find things again when I check again sometimes I didn't find the first time. I don't know how or why, or whether it's gone in between, or perhaps it's the connection's there, it's a bad one. But sometimes buzzing, sometimes doesn't. There was no buzz from ground to pin 20 of the 681. Now, why did I feel like a bolt of lightning has shot through me, and that feeling that you get, you know, adrenaline? Not because, not because I've been electrocuted by the board, by the way, or that I touched the mains. No. It was because I knew it. It's enough. That is enough to stop the board. I knew. I checked everything I could on this board, and it wasn't working. Absolutely everything. It had to be that. It had to be that. Well, I knew it was that. That's why I got that feeling through me. I knew it was that. Right. I didn't even have to plug it. I didn't even have to plug it in to see them leads go down to where they should go. I said out loud my usual one. Gotcha. In fact, I think I said something a little bit stronger than that. Gotcha, you ba. You know the rest of it. And I knew I'd have put £1,000 on that. What I was going to see when I plugged this in after repairing that track. Now that track there is quite thick, by the way. So I had a quick look and I couldn't find a break anywhere in it, right? So I believe it's possibly a pad, not the actual not the actual track, but I believe it could be a pad on the board. Now I've gone over a lot of them. You know, perhaps one that I've not sold it properly, or it's not gone all the way through, or something like that, perhaps. But I couldn't find it. So what I've done is I've just put a thick wire from pin 20, and I've connected it to the ground. And it's done the job. There was a wire that I'd missed there, by the way, before I sorted this out, which was here. I weren't taking all that back off the other side to put that back where it was supposed to go. I'll do it all on the front, as we know, all here. Every track's put back where it was, otherwise I'd have a billion wires in the back. Like that one there, and I don't like that these days. I have done ones like that before. Whoops. We've just nearly dropped the phone. Right, anyway. So, I got the adrenaline rush, or whatever you want to call it, through me. Like the bolt of lightning. Like the Incredible Hulk, or He-Man would get when he puts his sword up. Because, in my mind, and in my heart, and whatever else you want to say, I knew that was it. Now, I have been wrong before, but not with this one. I was not having it. I just knew it had to be that. Right, now the question is, this was the board that could have defeated me. Right, now the question is, was this the board? Like a boxer, innit? A boxer gets beat once, and once they get beat once, everybody beats them. Well, I didn't want not to be able to fix this board, and then find another one, because you're bound to have done. You know, so the question was, I was convinced that this board was going to boot at about £1,000. Was what I was going to see when I plugged this in after repairing that. Would I have lost my £1,000? That's your game card, by the way. That's to the guy that's board it is. So I would have bet £1,000 that I was going to see the board boot. Now, like I said, what I did here. Would I have lost my £1,000? No, I would not. Gotcha. Does it work? Does it all work? Well, I'll be honest, after that wire, I had loads of chips to put back on because I took loads of chips off. I only left the basic ones on. But yeah, I'm happy to say. Gonna reset again now, innit? You know what? I don't even think I've got any change here now. Or have I? Oh, I have. Yes, I have, of course. So here's your board. Oak Bake Mono. All working. Now we're going to test it here for a week because they can fail. And even then it's not bulletproof. But I do my best. So anyway, you've just had a big story off me there about my near-enough destruction. And on this occasion, my 4-year reign continues. Not found a board yet that I've not managed to do.